I was there that night, and Paul had a crippled right hand. His right hand was the same size as my wrist, all the way up to his shoulder, and that's the hand he hit me with. So this is the honest to God's truth. So help me God. This Eric Bischoff called me at 8 in the morning at the Marriott and said, "Leon, you have promised me pictures for a photo shoot for weeks. You got to do them today or you're fired." And he says, "I'm not kidding." So hey, you get up and you go. 4-hour photo shoot, and grueling, exhausting. So I sat down, he came in and said, "You're fucking late, why are you late?" Paul, like, politely, "I'm fucking doing this photo shoot, didn't Eric tell you?" And he said no and told me a fucking thing. I said, "Well, that doesn't give you a reason to fucking mistreat me. And if that's not good enough for you, you can go fuck yourself, because I'm not getting cussed out by you, you're not my boss." And he thought he was. And you know what, I had been told specifically that during that period of time, Dusty Rhodes was my boss, period. And Eric Bischoff, those two. Other than that, no one is above you. Paul steps in and blocks me from going to the interviews. He called me everything in a book and threatened me to my face to face. So I slapped him. I thought that was a threat to my well-being and my safety. You know, hey, you're going to tell me you're going to beat the hell out of me? Well, you know, I'm going to defend myself. So I slapped him. His feet came off the ground, and he hit his back hit the cement, and his head just missed this steel toolbox where we put the tools to put the ring together. Right. I thought, my God, if his head hit that, I'm done. I mean, don't matter why I'm late. I mean, if his head hits that and he's hurt, I'm fired and probably go to jail. And I went over and put my hand on his chest. "Paul, are you okay?" And he was coming to, because he hit the ground hard. I slapped the shit out of him. He's 200 pounds. I mean, he's really in bad shape, you know, physically. He gets up, and I'm thinking, you know what, if I fight him back and do what I think I should do to defend myself, I'm going to get fired, at the very least. And I thought I had slapped him initially, so I wanted to get that back, so I let him hit me in the face. And it was nothing. It was that weak right hand. And he hit me a second time, hit me a third time, and I drug him down with me. And Paul, some of the wrestlers helped Paul up, and he kicked me once or twice before I got up. I remember that, and I got up and grabbed him, and we went into the coach's room, fighting like a wrestling type fight. But that was it. He had boots on. And I don't know why that matters, but I guess if you're barefoot and slippers on, it's harder to fight somebody, right? I'm late, so what's he doing with slippers on? He's an agent. He's got his boots on. I mean, and then the next day, how Paul had beat me up, and what they're seeing is those 3 hits to the face, and I mean, it was like my 12-year-old son hitting me in the face. Like Regal, I remember Steve Regal. I mean, I kicked the shit out of Steve because it was my job to, you know. He was very vocal about all that, you know. Said, "Yeah, you're not so tough now." And I said, "Steve, fuck." You know, so I just shut up and walked away. Slapping Orndorff felt good, but it was wrong. I mean, no way should I punch first. Right? He got in my face. I said, "Go." I should have told him to go and take his best shot, and once he did, then I could have, you know, done anything I want with impunity. But so that was the first mistake. We had worked all week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks hard, 3 weeks hard, and then we were supposed to, you know, after 3 weeks of hard work and you're tired, we're supposed to meet at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, meet at the airport in Florida at this one terminal, private for us, right? And so they've got all the drinks, they're all loaded, so we're all there and we're all beat up. So, you know, I've been 3 weeks on the road and I'm beat up, so I'm taking a couple pain pills, getting ready to get on this long plane ride over to the deal. And you know, I was riding first class, so you take pain pills, you know, and then you take a couple muscle relaxers, and then you take Valiums, not too many, but just enough to relax you, because that plane ride, your legs get tight, and you can't stand up after a while, you know, your back hurts, and it's like, you know, but those, you know, they just kind of keep you loose. And if you overdo them, well, then you're an idiot, but if you don't, they could be a very helpful tool.
That's the reason you're created.
Yeah, but you know, if you overuse them and you're throwing up, and you know, it's just crazy. So suddenly, Stone Cold and I, we hear this. What's over there? My God, they're fighting. That's Arn and Sid. And we didn't move. We didn't move. We had our beer and just shoot. They're man, that's serious. We did not move, go help or nothing. It was just like didn't ever cross us. We were so tired and intoxicated. It's like, you know, I can't get over there. Shit, I don't know if I could get over there alone. What I do when I got there?
You're in your boxers.
Yeah, I'd get beat up or shoot, cause more trouble. So next thing I know, Sid comes walking over and he's doing Frankenstein walk. He's literally, I mean, he's Frankenstein. I said, Sid, what's wrong with you? He was my partner, so I got up off the stool. And man, I looked closer and I said, man, he had a hole in his stomach right here. And it was about my thumb. That's what it had been stabbed with those scissors, because you figure both scissors, you know, every time Sid's heart beat, I mean, about a nickel size, my size of my finger would pump out blood. And he's gonna die, because he wasn't just bleeding, it was like a fountain. I mean, right. Sid had a big, strong heart, and it would become, you know, and then I noticed it was getting less. The blood pressure was, you know, he was dying. I said, Sid, sit down. And I stuck my thumb in the hole. Literally, stuck my thumb in the hole. And I said, I'm going to push a little bit. And I got it in there, and it actually quit bleeding. I mean, a little was trickling out. And I said, don't move, man.
He's a liar.
I started yelling. I said, somebody get an ambulance, and Sid's going to die. But they were scrambling, and everyone's now coming. And they said, Leon, don't move, your thumb's got to stop. And the ambulance driver came and said, we got it now. And he pulled my thumb out. And said, you know what? Either Arn or Sid thanked me, because
if Sid had died, Arn would have, that's basically, yeah.
Yeah, and Sid died as well as he did, so, and I think he would have bled to death. And because when I took my thumb, it was 15 more minutes, and there's no way he would have bled that much. By the time he got to me, he was already passing out. So he was ready to go out, and I stopped it, and I kept said, just breathe, keep breathing, don't pass out. I said, don't pass out. He was looking up in the air, he was sitting down, but I had him sitting down. So, you know, I think maybe I saved his life, but never once.
You're a hero.
Yeah, thanks for sticking your thumb in my. That was quick thinking, you know. Not even a hoot.
Man, this is the thing is, Vader wasn't even there. He was in the lobby.
He claimed he basically stuck his thumb inside you.
He might have. I doubt that too. I don't remember that. I don't really remember because it happened so fast.
Because one of the things Vader mentioned was Arn never thanked him, because Vader claimed that he stopped the bleeding with his thumb, and like he said, he basically, in his opinion, saved Arn from a murder charge.
It could have been. I mean, I was bleeding pretty good. They had to do exploratory surgery. The good thing about it though, that wouldn't have happened. I wasn't bleeding from any organ inside. I wouldn't have bled to death.
And I've never seen nothing like that before. I walked in the bathroom, the whole bathtub had beer iced down. On the table, they had all the cold cuts. They had the salami, the bologna, the ham, all type of different cheeses, grapes, and bananas. You know, they had a whole, and I said, where did all this stuff come from? They said the girls brought it. I said, who paid for this room? They said the girls did. This is their room. That's how it was in them days. I mean, it was wide freaking open. And I think there's two things that stopped wrestling. All of that ended, I would say, around the 90s, because sexual harassment charges started coming out that was unfounded. And then the main reason was diseases like AIDS. We didn't have to worry about AIDS. Back in the old days, all the wrestlers carried, you get them penicillin pills. So you wash yourself off real good with alcohol, what we used to do, and we pop a couple of them pills. Then you had to worry about, the only thing we had to worry about then was sniff this, gonorrhea, sniff this, and the claps. That was it. I mean, there was no herpes, there was no AIDS, there was nothing like, because people
Sniffness
saw the change in the sex world. Me and SD Jones, we had this girl, and this girl, she walked on me, they used to walk on me, and I used to go eat, and SD used to pound him. You know, he used to have sex with him. So one time I'm in the room, and SD just got through with this girl.
Oh yeah. And in the middle of the 70s, Barnett had what he called the fart club. And the boys would, young boys, especially myself, and Gerald Briscoe, and Ricky Gibson, and Jimmy Golden, and Bob Orton, all young guys, and we'd all meet for the fart club. Do you know what that stands for? F an arena rat today. It was the fart club. I mean, it was. I didn't say that. I know that didn't make a lot of people mad, but that's the honest truth. And we had meetings. Hey, Robert, is Ricky effing the girls, and this is doing that, and what's Jimmy doing, and you know, there was there were groupies.
Because the girls would travel from territory to territory back then. They might be in the Montreal territory for 2 weeks, then they'd go over to Calgary for 2 weeks, and they'd go down to Portland, Oregon for 2 weeks. So the girls were traveling around, and the girls were always, you know, they were some of the men's party favors. So
but it makes sense. I mean,
most of the guys won't talk about being with the girls because they all have wives and children now. I got a wife and kids, you know. They think my wife thinks I come out here and I don't do any bad deeds on this road after 30 years. Give me a break. I do whatever. Hey, I do what a man has to. What is it? A man has to do what a man has to do.
she's okay with that?
Well, I guess she's still living with me. But no, I'm not as promiscuous as I once was. But yeah, and there was girls who, we talked about this last night in the locker room, girls who would come to the wrestling matches just to be with the wrestlers. little groupies. We called them arena rats. Rat. Like rats that scurry around in the arena, in the old dirty arenas. And then they would be there, and they, like I said earlier, they would go get our beer for us and have our beer when we came to town, and they would have our food that we liked, and sometimes they would bake stuff for us and bring it to the hotel, and they would drive around the hotels at night and just one car after the other and slowly cruise the hotel until some door opened up and somebody whistled, and in they came, and away you went. So 18.
Oh my God, guys.
18 to 24, 25, before they were into the marriage thing, or maybe they had been married once and not married anymore, and they'd hang around with the rest.